My dear Cancer, some work lights you up from the inside, and some work quietly drains you dry. And the difference rarely comes down to the job title, or the salary, or even the industry. It comes down to something more specific than that. It comes down to whether the environment you are working in allows you to care. You are not a person who can manufacture indifference toward the people you work with or the people you serve. You have tried. It does not take. And understanding that about yourself is not a weakness to manage. It is the beginning of building a career that actually fits the person you are. Cancer is a cardinal water sign ruled by the moon. What that means in plain professional terms is this: you lead through attunement. You initiate not through force or volume, but through a quality of presence that makes other people feel genuinely seen. The moon governs instinct, emotional intelligence, memory, and the deep human need for safety and belonging. Cardinal signs take action. They start things. They move toward what matters. Water as an element operates through feeling, through intuition, through the ability to read what is happening beneath the surface of a situation before anyone has put it into words. In the right professional environment, that combination makes you extraordinarily effective. In the wrong one, it costs you more than it should. The first field worth considering seriously is healthcare, counseling, and the caring professions. This is a broad category and intentionally so. It includes nursing, occupational therapy, social work, mental health counseling, patient advocacy, and the full range of roles where the primary task is attending to the well-being of another human being. For most people, this work is demanding in ways that feel like sacrifice. For Cancer, it often feels like purpose. That distinction matters enormously when you are choosing how to spend a working life. The moon gives you something that cannot be taught in any clinical program: the ability to know how someone is feeling before they have told you. You pick up on shifts in mood, on the tightening in a person's voice, on the thing they are not saying but clearly need to say. In healthcare and counseling environments, that sensitivity is not a personal vulnerability. It is a diagnostic tool. It is what makes a good practitioner a trusted one. Patients and clients do not just want competence. They want to feel that the person caring for them actually sees them. You provide that almost automatically. Here is the scene. You are with a patient or a client who has been told something difficult. The clinical part of the conversation is over. The other professional in the room has already moved on to next steps, to paperwork, to the logistics of what happens now. But you noticed something. You noticed that this person has not absorbed what they just heard. They are nodding, but they are not there. So you stay. You sit down when everyone else is standing. You ask the one question no one else thought to ask. And something in the room shifts. The person breathes. They start to speak. Not about the logistics, about what they are actually feeling. That moment costs you nothing except attention. And it changes everything for them. Over a long career in healthcare or counseling, what Cancer tends to master is the art of holding space without taking on weight. Early in your career, the emotional demands of caring work can feel cumulative in ways that concern the people around you. Over time, the most resilient Cancer practitioners develop a quality that looks like calm from the outside. It is not detachment. It is a kind of deep professional rootedness, the ability to be fully present with someone's pain without being swept away by it. That maturation is one of the most valuable things a caring professional can develop, and Cancer gets there through experience rather than instruction. Here is where to start. If you are drawn to the caring professions and are not yet working in them, find a volunteer role in a setting that serves people in genuine need. A hospice, a crisis line, a community health organization. Not to build a resume, to test your own response to sustained human need. Some people discover their limit quickly. Cancer tends to discover their calling. Either outcome is information worth having before you invest years in a formal credential. The second path that tends to align deeply with Cancer's vocational psychology is education, particularly at the early childhood and primary levels, as well as educational administration and school counseling. What makes this distinct from the broader teaching category is the specific developmental environment. Working with young children or adolescents is not primarily a cognitive task. It is a relational one. It requires the ability to create safety, to build trust incrementally, to notice which child has gone quiet and understand why. Those are not pedagogical techniques. They are Cancer's natural operating mode. The moon rules memory, cycles, and the nourishing of things that are still growing. There is something about the educational environment, with its rhythms and its rituals and its annual cycle of new beginnings, that suits the Cancerian temperament in a way that is hard to fully explain but very easy to recognize once you are in it. You remember your students. Not just their names, their fears, their small triumphs, the thing they said in October that told you everything you needed to know about what they needed from you. That quality of remembered attention is what transforms a competent teacher into an unforgettable one. Picture this moment. A child in your classroom has been struggling, not academically, but socially. Something is happening at home. No one has told you directly, but you know. You have known for 2 weeks. So you have been quietly adjusting things. You changed the seating arrangement so this child is near someone studying. You have been finding small moments to check in privately without drawing attention. You have left a little more room in the day for unstructured time because you sensed this child needed less demand, not more. None of this was in the lesson plan. All of it was in the relationship. And slowly, over weeks, the child begins to settle. Their work improves. They start to smile again. No one in the school will ever fully know what you did. You do not need them to. Long-term, Cancer in educational environments tends to become the person the whole institution leans on for its emotional foundation. You are the teacher other teachers send their hardest cases to. You are the administrator who remembers why the policies exist and pushes back when they stop serving the children they were meant to protect. That quiet institutional authority, built through years of genuine care, is one of the most durable forms of professional influence that exists. This is the move to make. If education calls to you, find one opportunity to work with young people outside of a formal classroom setting. Coach a youth program. Tutor a struggling student. Lead a summer session for kids who need extra support. Pay attention to how it feels to watch a young person grow because of something you provided. That feeling will either confirm the path or clarify that you are drawn to caregiving in a different form. Both are useful answers. The third career path worth naming is hospitality management, event coordination, and the professional creation of environments where people feel genuinely welcomed. This includes hotel and resort management, event planning and production, catering and food service management, and any role where the central task is designing an experience that makes other people feel cared for. For Cancer, this field is underestimated as a vocational fit, and it should not be. The moon governs home, comfort, nourishment, and the primal human experience of belonging somewhere. Cancer is the sign most naturally attuned to what makes a space feel welcoming versus merely functional. You notice things in an environment that most people walk past without registering. The temperature of a room, the way the lighting lands, whether the person at the front desk made eye contact or looked through the guest like they were not there. You notice these things not because you are critical, but because you feel them. And in hospitality and event work, that sensitivity to the guest experience is the most valuable operational intelligence a manager can have. Cardinal modality means you initiate. You do not wait to be told that something is wrong with the guest experience. You sense it before the complaint is filed and you act. That proactive attunement to how people are feeling in a space is what separates hospitality professionals who are technically competent from the ones who create experiences people describe for years afterward. Here is the scene. You are managing an event that has hit an unexpected snag. Something that was planned has not arrived. A room is not set the way it should be. Guests are beginning to arrive and the situation is not ready. Most people in that moment go into visible crisis mode, and the guests feel it immediately. You do not. You make 2 quick decisions, redirect 2 people, and then you walk to the entrance with a calm face and a genuine welcome. You greet the first guests as if everything is exactly as it should be, because in the ways that matter most to them, it is. The problem gets solved in the background. The experience remains intact. That capacity to hold the emotional container of an event steady under pressure is a rare and highly compensated skill in hospitality management. Over time, what Cancer builds in hospitality and event work is a reputation for the kind of warmth that does not feel performed. Guests and clients come back not just because the logistics were handled well, but because being in your environment felt like being taken care of. That feeling is not accidental. It is designed, intentionally and carefully, by someone who understands that the most memorable experiences are the ones that felt personal. You make things feel personal because to you, they genuinely are. Here is how to move toward this path. Volunteer to plan or manage one event of any size from start to finish. A family gathering, a community fundraiser, a small professional event for an organization you belong to. Take full ownership of the guest experience, not just the logistics. Pay attention to how people feel when they arrive, how the energy shifts during the event, and what they say when they leave. That full-cycle experience of designing and delivering an environment for other people will tell you more about your fit for this field than any job description ever could. Now, before you move on, sit with this for a moment. Of those three paths, healthcare and the caring professions, education and school counseling, hospitality and event management, which one felt like something you have always known? Which one did you hear and think, quietly, yes, that is the one? And which one surprised you, arriving from a direction you did not expect? Sometimes the path that surprises us is the one we have been circling for years without giving ourselves permission to step onto it. Leave a comment telling me which path resonated most. Or tell me which of these fields you are already working in and whether this description matched what you have lived. Those reflections from people doing the actual work are some of the most valuable things this community offers. If this kind of honest, sign-specific vocational reflection is useful to you, subscribing means more of it finds its way to you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a blessed day.